Here we go, everyone. New format. I'm excited to try this out. So basically what I'm going to be doing is this raw footage is going to be edited, and sometimes we're going to get videos like this where it's like just me talking about my opinion. Sometimes we might be getting unboxings with editing, or sometimes we might get full scripted videos. Anyway, so what we're going to talk about today is Cuphead, fandoms, and Rule 34. I understand how that last one's a pretty touchy subject, and I totally understand if you don't want to get involved with that, so if that's not your thing to be talking about, then exits that way. Anyway, let's start this off by clearing my opinion on Cuphead. I love Cuphead. I think it's amazing. I love everything about it. Beautiful visuals, amazing characters, great designs, lovely music. There's honestly barely anything I can fault it on. I really want you guys to know that I do love this game, because I'm going to be talking about the fandom and how maybe we should stop making such a big deal about fandoms in general. Now, what I think makes a fandom bad and start to grow a little cancerous, I don't like using that word, but I mean, here we go. What I think makes it bad is when basically the creator's original vision is shattered. Now, that could be with things like OCs, fan games, art, but in the end, a fandom should never hamper your enjoyment for a certain thing unless that fandom points out maybe an inherent flaw with something like Undertale. Now, do I think the Cuphead fandom is bad right now? Short answer? No. Not at all. Really, the only bad thing in the fandom we have right now is Rule 34 and Cupsonas. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about the easy thing first. I'm just gonna talk about Cupsonas, stuff like that. That's what I think is precisely currently straying away from the creator's original vision. The creator's vision is a nostalgic 1930s throwback to all those feelings that they made us feel. Now, the problem with these Cupsonas is they are, well, edgy and designed in a way that does not represent this era at all. I think that's bad, okay? But I'm not saying if that's what you enjoy, you shouldn't do it. If you want your Cupsonas to be heard, go ahead, post them on DeviantArt. And, you know, maybe start a group and you can all roleplay as your Cupsonas. If that's what you enjoy, I'm not going to stop you at all. I mean, I've got a big layout of model trains behind me, and you probably think that's pretty weird if, you know, you're not following me for these model trains in the first place. So now that I kind of have my definition of a bad fandom out of the way, let's talk about, you know, Rule 34. So Rule 34, if you don't know, is if it's on the internet, there are lewds of it. Now, from my experience, I have learned that this, for the most part, is definitely true, and I'm sure you learned that, and that's probably why you're so angry about it with Cuphead. But I just want to say, is it really that big of a deal? Does it really matter that people are drawing Cuphead straw getting sucked on and, oh no, Cala Maria without her bra on? Right, but think of the kids, and think of the people who don't want to see stuff like that. It's honestly not much to be alarmed about, because we already know that they're indulging in things that include, you know, real human beings, real anatomy. And seeing, you know, cartoon breasts, in my opinion, just isn't anything like what they are factually right now experiencing at their own free will. Nonetheless, you as a anywhere from 12 to 40-year-old man, who knows, I don't know who you are, what you're doing right now, but you're probably pretty angry and disgusted that you're seeing Cuphead Rule 34. But to that I say, do you really care? Or are you just trying to make a big fuss because that's what everyone else does? Now, personally, I do not condone, recommend, or indulge in Rule 34. I think it's weird too. But that's not to say I'm gonna judge someone who doesn't think it's weird. To everyone their own opinion, to everyone their kinks and quirks. It's not up to me to judge. Because if it makes you happy, if it gives you some form of pleasure, go ahead. I don't care about what you do. I mean, that's totally up to you. And that's kind of what I think of Rule 34 in general. It's just people doing what they want. And for the most part, you're not just gonna stumble across it, you have to actively be looking for it. Now back to my earlier point of straying away from a creator's original vision. Isn't that what Rule 34 does? Yeah, totally, 100%. However, I feel it falls under an almost completely different realm, in all seriousness. Because when I was talking about cupsonas and fan games, those affect children's and adults and whoever's consuming the content's view on the original content. Five Nights at Freddy's is the prime example. Fan fictions and fan games made something evil and murderous into something cute and cuddly, and that was the general consensus. That's what people thought Five Nights at Freddy's was, because they were barely consuming the original content, and they were consuming fan content. But tell me, to this day, does anyone think that Freddy Fazbear is actually... I'm just gonna let you imagine what I was going to say. And there you go. Rule 34 doesn't really affect people's view on the content. It only affects your view on the content if you let it. And yeah, I know, you might think it's gross. Personally to me, I'm totally indifferent. I don't care. If someone enjoys something, it's up to them. And just because I don't enjoy it, doesn't mean I should lampoon them for enjoying something that I think is strange. And honestly, I don't even think it's strange. It's just, you know, people doing what they like. Now I am going to say, though, Rule 34 does have a prominent effect on a fandom, and that's attracting undesirable members to it. In the end, what these undesirable members end up doing anyways is just creating more of that content that strays away from the original vision. So that, yes, does inherently make the fandom worse and worse over time. But simple and clean, is the Rule 34 itself the problem? I think not. I think people are making just too big of a deal out of it. I think that it's pretty much totally avoidable, and maybe you'll see a little bit of it here and there, but, you know, is it that big of a deal? Is it that prominent? No, it's not. You pretty much actively have to go search for it. So I'm gonna stand up here and say an unpopular opinion. I think we should stop being mean to people who like something different than us. I think we should quit complaining and moaning about something that really doesn't affect us at all. And again, one last time, I understand why you don't like seeing Rule 34, but seriously, it's a minor inconvenience at best. So anyway, there you have it, my opinion. And hopefully this will be interesting. Hopefully this format will get somewhere. Hopefully I'll start learning to maybe be a little less redundant. Hopefully I'll edit all those redundancies out, though. But please tell me what you think of this new format. Please tell me what you'd like me to talk about. Please tell me pretty much anything you've got on your mind. I'll do politics, I'll do gaming, I'll do whatever. I'm just here to get my opinion out. I'm here to see what other people think. So let's get the discussion going in the comments. What do you think of fandoms? What's your definition of a bad fandom? And are you bothered by Rule 34? I'm looking forward to discussing with you and fellow commenters down below. So I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. I'll develop an outro sometime. For now, I like trains too. Out. Hey guys, sorry for all the temporary outros and intros and stuff. I just kind of wanted to get this out here for today, see what I'm capable of, but I promise the future stuff is going to be a lot nicer. And hopefully this won't have to be made in iMovie forever. Just right now it's a little inconvenient because it's really difficult for me to get files from my phone onto my actual PC. So hopefully I'll be able to get a camera, you know, maybe even a microphone. Hopefully a lighting rig, you know, all that fancy stuff. But as of now, it's going to be kind of cheap, and I'm not going to be able to do it during the summer because, like I said, I have to do it on my school computer because my PC can't handle that kind of stuff. Anyway, you know, hopefully I'll find a way around that before that time comes. Hopefully everything works out, and hey, just like, subscribe, and see you next time.